Hey, Sub-Zero says happy fourth. Happy fourth, Sub-Zero. Right?
Yeah.
He's a big boy. What do you think, Sub-Zero? He's a big boy?
I think the Nadal match is very boring.
Let's go, Sub-Zero. Let's go, buddy. He's such a good
He's
boy.
like, the Nadal match is very boring.
Mwah. All right, buddy. Thank you for saying what's up. We love you a lot. Mwah.
Yes. Now go lay down. Stop bothering.
He's heavy. Whoops.
Yeah.
Damn. The sucker got big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. He takes a lot out of you. All right, you guys ready to go? You ready?
Yeah.
Let's log in. All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today, as you can see by the hat, is July 4th. And I think that we're kind of lucky to say that in a way. I know that sometimes we don't think our freedoms are as much as they used to be. And sometimes we get disgruntled about this and that. But nonetheless, I think there's no place I would rather be. Anyway, happy 4th to everyone. And just a moment ago, we were talking about Ostapenko and Tatiana Maria. We talked about this a little bit, but has anyone ever seen the movie Sound of Music?
Yeah, I think most of us have.
With Julie Andrews and the Von Trapp family,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Von Trapp family, we lived in Vermont for a while, and that family, that their house wasn't terribly far from where we lived. Anyway, but have you ever heard the song in that movie that goes like, "How did you solve a problem like Maria? Da, 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 da." You heard this before?
Yes.
I did realize one thing. You don't solve the problem like Maria with Ostapenko. Oh, girl, you got big, girl. Ostapenko. You don't solve a problem like Maria with Ostapenko. So we're gonna start there just for a moment. So yesterday, after we did the show, there was a press conference with Ostapenko, and she was asked a couple questions about her level of play, etc. Do you have that?
Yes, I do. I think you posted on Facebook.
Yeah. So we saw this. I'm gonna change hats, by the way. It's a little uncomfortable, but nonetheless, happy 4th of July, for sure.
What's up, Ryan? Are you falling asleep watching Nadal? Looks like he was serving for the match, and now he's down 15-40 to go even on the third.
He's going to be just fine. Okay, do you have the?
Yeah. You want to read it?
All right, so the following quotes are from Ostapenko in relation to her match against Tatiana Maria.
All right.
Okay.
She's just nothing. She doesn't do anything. She hits the ball without any pace. She's just playing for the hell of it. She plays like an amateur. I play way better than she. I'm just making errors. Then why did you lose?
I don't even know what to say about that. You lost to pretty much everyone since the maiden French Open in 2017.
Why did you lose?
You have to ask yourself that. Why do you keep
If she
losing?
does nothing, why did she lose?
Yeah. I think she said that about more than one player too, by the way.
Yeah.
I think she said that about quite a few players. It seems like she says that to people every time that she loses.
Yeah.
Oh, she just pushes. She sucks, you know? She is. Okay, I thought it was Tuesday when we woke up this morning because generally during Wimbledon, there is no play on Sunday. So it kind of threw me off a day, right? So I felt like it was kind of a Tuesday when we got up. But Novak Djokovic had a couple things to say about playing late into the night, which we've seen matches way later at the U.S. Open, 2, 3 in the morning, right?
Yep.
And I don't want to exaggerate, but I think we've seen a plethora of matches 2, 3 in the morning where people have missed the subway. Anyway, I'm not. This isn't a pro or con type thing. I'm just starting a topic here. So Novak Djokovic has indicated that Wimbledon needs to begin center court start times earlier. He states that, quote, the 1:30 p.m. start time for center court is too late. Okay, he's chewing my shoe boxes. The 1:30 start time for center court is too late. He indicated that interviews that last 20 minutes or more, especially when they're first and second round matches, they need to be cut short or just don't happen at all. Okay, I had to side with him here for just a moment. Carla, you and I watched Raducanu's first round match.
Yeah.
Okay, we watched it. She won that match, whatever. After that match, they brought the carpet out. They got the speaker, the podium, and she got asked all these questions after a first round match. And this is not just her, but this is just the first match we watched.
How late was his match?
I think it ended at like 11 p.m. In Britain, I think British Standard Time or whatever that time zone is. It wasn't terribly late, but what I'm getting at, it didn't have to go that late. If you could have shortened up the day by a couple of hours simply by alleviating post-match interviews that normally only take place maybe in the semifinals, maybe, but generally just the finals. But now they do it at every match.
But isn't that what a late night ticket is for?
Yeah.
Night session. Isn't night session late?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't night session usually at the US Open start around 6, 7 o'clock? How would you finish matches before 11?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't think he should complain about that. Sorry.
We still got a great match. Anyway, we talked about this yesterday.
Ryan said Novak also complained about this at the French Open. Alex Kyrgios said it finished late because of the 100-year center court celebration. That would make sense. But we've seen matches at the U.S. Open go to 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I think
that's the whole point of the night session.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of it, night session. I personally wouldn't want to play a match that late. I think I'm tired after a certain time. But you're a pro tennis player. Just like you have to be fit, you have to be able to play late. That is part of your job. That's why you get paid the millions by sponsors. Deal with it. That's why you travel. That's why you do the photo shoots. That's why you do the boring interviews, because you are paid as a pro athlete. It's part of your job.
Yeah, I think there's a time frame in which maybe as an athlete, if you're the big time athlete, right, one of the GOATs or one of the best in the business, that they want late start times. They know people are going to watch them. They can break out the all black attire like Federer and Nadal have done at the U.S. Open and at other places. The all black, you can don it at night. Darth Vader out there, right? Looking like the bad guy for once, right? But I think there's a point in time where athletes are very stable and they become GOATs, and now they don't want to be inconvenienced. They're not worried about the sponsorships. They're not worried about the ads because they've already got, But if you were someone like Van Rithoorn, by the way, wouldn't you just dream of being playing at 2 a.m. on center court somewhere?
You wouldn't give a shit. The problem is that they get spoiled,
and it would be on ESPN. The only time that we get tennis highlights here for the most part in the US of A, and I think it might be more regional. Like here in the South, we get a lot of football and baseball, and out west you get more of surfing and skiing and tennis and so forth. But do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, I get it. I get what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. Even though I forgot.
Michael Walker said at the US Open the night is still outdoors. But you know what? I'm sure they put the roof just in case of rain and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't bitch about it. I'd bitch about it if I lost my legs, my arms. It's something stupid to bitch about. Let's be real here. I mean, they got millions of dollars. People there to pay those tickets and to watch them play at night. It's exciting for them. It's once a year. Stop bitching about it and just play.
People like Kyrgios.
Just saying, if we're gonna bitch if it's too sunny, too hot, the roof should be closed, the AC should be on. And just stop bitching. There's other things to bitch about.
People like Kyrgios that love the underneath the center light stage type theatrical platform. Younger players that could use a sponsorship or to get some notation. They're gonna like that, but players like Nadal or Geopolitical or Federer, they want to be in bed by 9:30.
I get that, but you know what? You guys are making the millions of dollars wearing watches that are almost $1 million. I mean, don't bitch about that. That's part of it. That is part of your job. That's what you got to do. I mean, just saying. You've got actors that are traveling from place to place to place to place. You got military that doesn't see their family and they got to go whatever time they say, and they don't bitch. They do it. Just do it. Be a warrior.
Yeah. And then when you go to Australia, you hear some of the GOATs and others in the top 5, 10 saying, I want a later match because it's too hot in Australia. Then you go to the US Open and they're like, I want an earlier match because it's too late when I have to miss the subway.
The crowd is too rowdy.
Yeah, and then you hear, and then
the lights are bugging me.
Yeah, it's never the younger aspiring or players that love the lights, right? In terms of like an action show, right? A drama. It's just usually the really elite players that really start bitching about such things.
Again, Michael Walker, whether they close the roof or not or whatever, Novak should just play and play. I mean, it's not like he's going to play till 4 a.m. So just saying, just play the match.
No.
That's it. He did play the match. He has nothing to worry about. He hasn't really faced anyone that's going to beat him.
But what Michael Walker said holds holds weight.
Yeah,
Let me tell you why.
I get that.
If let's say you kept the roof closed throughout the entire tournament, right?
Mhm.
The conditions would be stable. But because they're opening and closing the roofs and so forth, the conditions change. So
Sure.
so I think if the weather's clear, you should just either open it or close it.
Yeah, that's their stupidity.
Yeah, I mean, what he's saying is very, very,
Yeah, I
very,
get it.
very true.
I get it, but maybe they want to hear the acoustic sound at night. I don't know.
You know, fair enough.
I mean, again, that's a minimal thing to bitch about, you know?
Some players like Rafa Nadal are very meticulous. We were watching today, Rafa Nadal. There was only 4 balls in play on the court, so there was only 4 circulating balls amongst both players and the ball boys and girls. And he stopped play for a moment and was like, "Hey, where's the other 2 balls?" Why is it so important to be meticulous about the balls? For some, it's superstitious. For someone like Carla, it is in a way.
No.
Well, I think you
I don't grab the same ball
because you don't want to be superstitious.
I don't want to be superstitious.
So
I don't want
saying,
anyone to think I'm superstitious.
But that thought resonates in your head, though. So in other words, you're being so superstitious because you don't want other people to think that you are superstitious. So superstition is still involved in your thought process. What are we talking about? If we're tennis players and we're in a zone, we're locked into the match, and we just want a big point. You know, sometimes we go get that ball and you feel like I gotta have that ball I want, and you stick with that ball. For the lot of us, we don't tend to think that one ball may have a little bit more felt, one ball may be a little bit tighter, one ball may be a little bit more dead by a fraction of a bit. So when we think about the pressure of the ball and when we think about the string tension on the rackets, the looser the racket string is, the more powerful it becomes, because the string turns into a trampoline. If you had a time-lapse camera, the looser the string would concave in and throw the ball out, right? The tighter the string, the less pocketing and slingshot effect, and that gives you more control. Okay. Same thing goes with the balls. The more pressure that's in the ball, legal pressure, the more controllable the ball is. But the deader it gets, you can really thump the ball pretty hard. But on the flip side, that little bit less pressure ball will tend to land in. So you get kind of wrapped up in the ball that you can get in all the time, but yet it's really not. Look, you can go out and kill the 10 and under tennis balls, right?
Yeah,
but what I'm getting at
yeah.
is some people are very superstitious about the damn ball. If they win a point, they want that ball. They don't want that ball. They don't want that ball. They don't want this ball. But Carla, on the other hand, is opposite of that.
I don't give a shit what ball I'm playing with him.
See, I do.
I'm still gonna play the same way.
I do.
Okay, again, like, you know, people have all their little bounces, 1, 2, 3. I don't even have when I go up to serve, there's no rhythm I have. There's not 1, 2, 3. I couldn't even tell you because it all depends on how I feel at that moment. It could be 1 bounces, 10 bounces, 2, never 10. 2 bounces, whatever. I might just serve fast. I've never been that way, ever.
It's called a pre-serve routine.
I don't have that pre-serve routine as well.
I've had it since I was a little boy, but my father used to mention it to me very young. For me, it's nothing fancy. I always bounce it 3 times on my first serve and 2 times on my second serve. And if it's a let, then I do it again. If I don't do that, let's say I bounce it 1, 2, and just accidentally miss the 3rd bounce, you know, oh shit, I got to grab the ball, you know, in my head real quickly, then I'll have to do it again. 1, 2, 3. And if I'm on clay, sometimes if I'm like 1 bad bounce, then I'm like, okay, let me flatten out the clay. 1, 2, 3, then I grab it. But I think a pre-service routine is really important. What do pilots do before
I guess I don't have that.
What do pilots do before they get in their aircraft to fly? A pre-flight checklist, right? They go up and they check their flaps, they check the equipment, they check the lights. In other words, they're assuring their safety. When we have a pre-service routine, we're building a foundation of the ball's in my court. I've got this. Let me do my routine, and I'm good to go. Hence why Nadal does the bottles and the every serve. You know, have you ever seen?
I can't see. I don't have all that. I think it's if that you know what, like when I play Justin, a lot of times I'm very annoyed by him.
What?
Because like he'll wait, like when we play Dolphin Island, he'll wait till a car passed by and he wants total quiet. Whereas me, I don't give a crap. It could be loud. You could have people yelling, nobody talking, somebody watching, nobody watching. To me, it doesn't matter. But I know for certain players like you or Nadal or some other players, they're picky about their balls. They're picky about where they put their stuff. I'm just not like that.
So little things don't throw you off.
No, I don't care.
Yeah, for me at serve especially, I really need it to be quiet. I don't need a car passing by because I think the serves for me is the main weapon, and if I can't think clearly and really zone in on that one part of the ball that I want to strike, then I'm thrown off.
I'm not. I don't have those little routines. I don't have them.
All right, moving forward. Novak Djokovic, by the way, has tied the mighty Pete Sampras, one of the longest win streaks in Wimbledon history. The current longest win streaks in Wimbledon history are number one between the years of 1976 and 1981, Bjorn Borg with 41 straight matches won at Wimbledon. Number two, Roger Federer with 40 straight matches between the years of 2003 and 2008. And third place, Sampras, who won between the years of 1997 and 2001, 31 matches. In fourth place, Djokovic jumps on the list with 25 consecutive matches between the years 2018 to now, and tying Pete Sampras for fifth with the same record, the same deal. So he jumped onto the list in the top four streaks. He tied Sampras for fourth of all time.
Awesome.
At Wimbledon. I thought it was a pretty good deal.
That's a good deal.
By the way, can I ask you all a question? It's July 4th. We love the holiday. This has nothing to do with whether you like the holiday or not. But do you buy fireworks? Like, they're pretty damn expensive. And right now, gas is so crazy. Everything, food prices are higher. The price of fireworks is higher. We were just checking some out for the hell of it. Anyway, do you buy fireworks? And B, is it the epitome? Is it the consummate or the commensurate example for literally lighting your money on fire? I get it if you go to the fireworks show.
It is lighting your money on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I get it if you go to like the beach and the town pays for it because they're using your taxpayer money anyway, or if you go to SeaWorld or Disneyland because they're using your entry fee for it anyway. I understand that. Nothing better than a great fireworks show. I love fireworks. Wow, bow, 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 wow, wow, bow, 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 bow. Boo! Let's go! You're like, woo! Pow, 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 pow. Smack! I'm like, yes! I love fireworks, but at the same time, if you're spending your own hard-earned money, and sometimes you're so broke you can't even pay attention, but you roll out and buy $300 worth of bottle rockets, is there a better way of burning up your money quicker other than driving your car these days? Because it's almost $6 a gallon in some places, if not beyond out west. Do you think there's a better way of burning your money?
I wouldn't do it, especially right now with the way things are. We're watching the news where some people took a vacation to Orange Beach and they used to spend money going out to eat, and now they decided to cook at the condo. Little things like that. So yeah, blowing your money on fireworks right now is not a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing right now. I think you have to be smart, save your money, don't spend it on stupid shit.
They're not bringing up on here for my videos. I'll have to get it. Okay. Anyway, we do not buy fireworks, but we do love fireworks.
We've been gifted fireworks.
We've been gifted fireworks. We had a great time with them.
Yeah, last year we were gifted fireworks, so we do it. But yeah, I don't think I would buy.
And yes, I hope we see a good fireworks show tonight. Where we live, luckily the town does one, and upstairs, if you go out on the kind of the balcony, you can see it clear as day. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I can try to film a little bit of it later, but I don't have it's not that close, so it might look really small. Mm-hmm. Anyway, next, talking about some fireworks. Pat Cash, as you all know, a previous Wimbledon champion, major winner. Pat Cash, who's an Australian and a fellow countryman of Nick Kyrgios, stated and ostensibly stated that Nick Kyrgios cheated in a bad way. Cheated. Yes, he used the three words. Carla, what are the three things that if you tell me to my face, I don't care who you are, what the hell I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna have a talk about it. Lying, stealing, and cheating. Okay, there's no need to cheat. Ultimately, there's no point. B, lying and stealing for me, I feel guilty, and I end up going back and telling whoever the truth in the first place because I just feel like a dipshit. So it's just those three things that I hate personally, and I know she feels the same way. But Pat Cash stated that Nick Kyrgios cheated, quote unquote, in a bad way, and should have been defaulted in the first set against Tsitsipas. He also said, and you can Google this, surely there's an article because that's where I got it from, like a plethora of them. The next aspect was Nick Kyrgios was so out of hand that the umpire even lost control of the court with ball girls and people running around. Okay. Well, I wrote here again, kind of a notation that Pat Cash even related the umpire was so lost in it that the ball boys and ball girls were all over the place making a stink of the place. And it ultimately was because of Kyrgios. Now I have a question to all of you. There are rules that are sometimes not black and white. Sometimes they're like, oh, I don't know. Did Nick Kyrgios, besides acting like an asshole, besides acting like what worked and getting inside Tsitsipas' head, so I think you can look at it both negatively and positively, but did he break any rules? I mean, did he break a rule? Like you broke the rule, or were they maybe borderline? Let me grab my phone real fast.
No, he didn't break any rules. There's no rules against you talking in a match or I don't know, acting like an idiot. I guess you can act like an idiot on a tennis match. I mean, I don't see what rule he broke except a whole bunch of people being babies.
Yeah, he didn't break any rules. So I really hope that Pat Cash finds a way to look to at least remember that you come from the same place. And he really didn't break any rules. So if he didn't break any rules, how can he have cheated?
Is Pat Cash Australian too?
Yes, he's Australian. I thought that was kind of whack anyway, because Pat Cash played in the McEnroe era, at least at the later stages of that. So, he's been around it. Grow up, Pat Cash, because you look like a bitch too. Shut up. All right. Australia, by the way, speaking of Australia and the Australian Open lifted the restrictions for proving that you're vaccinated or not, which opens the door for Novak Djokovic to play the Australian Open. However, he was given a 3-year ban, right?
Was he?
Wasn't he given a 3-year ban? Didn't he get a 3-year ban? And correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I remember he had a 3-year ban.
I don't know. One of these guys has to know.
So do you know what a good metaphor for this is? Let's say you deal marijuana. Let's say you sell green.
He was given a 3-year ban.
Okay. Now who said that?
Bozidar.
Thank you, Bozidar. Now Bozidar, thank you for that. Now let's imagine you deal marijuana. All right. So I'm a pot dealer, and I go out and I live in Alabama, so it's illegal. I get it. But let's say I'm here and I sold 3 pounds to my boy next door. Then my boy next door goes and gets arrested, and I go to jail for it. However, I get a 10-year sentence, and 2 years into my sentence, pot becomes legal in the state of Alabama. That's funny, even thinking of that, because that'll never happen in Alabama. Kind of dumb, but anyway. But let's say it gets legalized. Okay, I don't get out of prison because it got legalized. So I'm not like, I forget the word for it. There's like a legal term for, was that grandfather clause, whatever. I forget. But the moral of the law is that you knowingly broke the law then. And just because it's not against the law now, it was then. So the dichotomy is, the problem is, if now there is no reason to prove, in other words, you can just say, hey, I reserve my right to keep my mouth shut. Like I said, when this shit happened in the first place, we're not pro or against any vaccine. We've never said that nor disclosed our thought process on that. The only thing we've ever disclosed is that I don't want to share my medical records with you, right? You get what I'm saying? I think I think has always been Djokovic's standpoint. He wasn't saying I'm not taking your shit. He just like, man, why are you in my business? Why do I have to tell you this? And I'm going to stand firm about that, right? But that that didn't cut it for Australia, giving a 3-year ban. Blam, get lost, put him in the dungeon, so he could get out in freaking handcuffs, followed by the damn whoever the enforcement people were. We made him look like a criminal, but now hey man, it's no big deal now. But they gave him a 3-year ban. So do they hold him to that? Or do they actually go back in time and state that their law was wrong then and let the brother walk? You got to think about that. Damn. Now, between them and this Wimbledon being a geopolitical tool for bullshit, namely...
Well, they got fined $1 million. Gene Shore said they got fined $1 million for banning Russians and Belarusians, and now they're appealing it.
Yeah. Do you know, Carla, what time did I get up this morning? About 4:30 this morning? Do you know what song I had stuck in my head this morning? Do you remember? And this was straight out of bed. I woke up and I was like, party rocking in the house tonight, the super queen. The Juan Fu guy? Why did I wake up thinking about Juan Fu? I'm not a fan.
Right now in the
but why did I bring up Juan Fu? Why? Because I thought about Azarenka the high-pitched squealing sound like a pig getting prodded with a cattle prod, shocked on the ass when she hits. That's how she sounds. She's like a damn horse with, you know, a hot rod up her ass. But nonetheless, no disrespect to her, just because of her grunt, I still like her. But I thought about Azarenka because she wasn't playing. And who did Azarenka date? Who did Azarenka used to knock up with?
That guy, yeah.
Juan Fu. Have you ever seen this guy?
He was ugly.
Damn.
He was ugly.
Damn, girl. What were you thinking?
He was ugly.
What's his name? Juan Fu?
Maybe he shaved his, maybe he like cut his hair or something. I don't know.
Is that really his name? Juan Fu?
I remember she was really young.
Have you
Confused.
Have you seen this?
No, like we
Okay.
Are,
All right, I got a picture.
That's not how he's.
Oh, this is his boy. What are you talking about, Willis?
Right, she's still.
Come on,
still-
Azarenka.
Does he still look the same?
Man, yeah, I don't know, but
What's his name?
that was then. She was hooking up with him then. How you gonna what?
What's his name?
Man, if my daughter came home with us, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, nah, bro, get lost. Would you not? Come on, Azarenka. Come on. Let's go, girl. Come on.
What's his
Red Food. Trouble Mind called it Red Food.
What's his name?
Red Food.
Red Food.
Yeah, he's got some. He looks like a carrot.
Wait a minute. Wait.
What?
All right, he can't. Does he cut his hair?
But I woke up thinking about him because I thought about Azarenka. Because I saw the article about
Oh man.
Wimbledon getting sued $1 million,
He
right?
still has that haircut.
Yeah, it was like arse, like a pirate saying
Wow.
arse. You look like arse. Yeah. But Azarenka, nonetheless, ended up having a rough time because she obviously broke up with him because of the tennis tour and his deal. And then she had a child, God bless her, with another guy. And what is one of the things that has been really problematic in a serious way with Azarenka, dealing with child custody battle, dealing with
But anybody deals with that.
man, rough stuff.
It was just her luck. I mean,
Yeah.
that is very tough. I mean, you feel for her that I'm sure that's messed up with her mind a lot, tennis wise.
Yeah, think about it. When Azarenka came back from her hiatus because of childbirth, etc., when she came back, she was a stick figure. She was a twig compared to her previously stocky, kind of a little bit on the chunky side, a little bit, but she had thick thunder thighs. You know, the pre-childbirth and stress of life and motherhood and custody battles was Azarenka as her major winning self. The post Azarenka after domestic problems and court cases and everything else was the currently powerless or not as much powerful Azarenka. Do you know the difference? Have you seen what are your thoughts?
She looks better now.
You think she looks better now?
No, when she first started, she was I thought a little not too muscular, kind of soft. Then she got too skinny, but I think she's fine right now, the way she looks. Yeah. She looks fine right now. Now she looks her best, in my opinion.
Yeah,
she's very pretty now. I mean, before she would have the weird hairstyles. I think she looks just fine. She's perfect right now. She's a mother. She's gained the weight that she needs to gain, healthy weight. She looks fine. I know you're looking for a picture here.
I want to let Carla do the research on that one. I was trying to find trying to picture.
She's fine. She looks.
That's now.
She looks pretty.
But don't do it so quick so we can see it.
I mean, she looks just fine now. She's a mom. She's happy.
But on the tennis court, if you look at,
she's not that skinny now. She's fine. That's a perfect weight for her.
Azarenka used to be thick.
Yeah, but she don't need to be that thick.
But she used to be, and that's when she was a powerful player.
Yes, but she was also younger and a little soft, I thought, in my opinion.
A little bit, maybe.
You know, I think she looks just fine. I think she found her happy self. I mean, she's fine. She looks fit. Wozniacki was built the same way. I thought when she first came back, she was way too skinny.
Wozniacki, by the way, was nowhere near built the way the vintage Azarenka was. Maybe now, but not then.
No,
Azarenka was.
I'm talking about when Vika looked kind of sick. She looks fine. She looks fine now.
Yes. By the way, Caroline Wozniacki has been commentating and doing the play-by-play on the Tennis Channel as well as the Wimbledon app.
You're talking about here when she
as well as on ESPN, and she's done a really good job.
You're talking about there when she was so skinny.
Yeah, show her legs there. Show her legs.
See, like right there, she was.
Yeah,
like,
here, let me get you some reach.
It's gonna get small.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, but anyway, you can see the little twigs, right? Anyway, see the twigs? Okay, if you go back to like when did
it's not raining here.
But when did Azarenka play Serena for like a semifinal at the U.S. Open or a final?
She did it. Well, she did it at Indian Wells. She did it after.
Yeah, that's the body type you need to show the night and day difference. But I couldn't find one because it's been so long ago. How long ago has that been? It makes me feel old.
Yeah, I'm still going back to her stuff. Her and Serena apparently good friends. So.
Yeah, and anyway, but Caroline Wozniacki has given new life, I think, to commentating. You know, at first when I heard her commentate play-by-play, I thought she was a little monotone, and, you know, kind of drab and maybe raspy. And then I realized, wait a minute, she's pregnant. I know the feeling. I've been through that 5 times or whatever. But I think that listening to her, it's kind of appealing to the senses. It's very flowing. It's very elegant. And I have a couple metaphors, by the way, for one of the women's matches we're going to get into in a little while, where Wozniacki, the style of play from this young lady that we'll speak about, reminded me of Wozniacki and the likes of Redzwanska and many others, right? Okay, can we speak for just a moment about the Demandor match and Christian Garin match? Okay, this was the first match that.
Oh my God, that was boring.
This was the first match. Was it the first match that we watched this morning? Yes, it was. It was the first match because this is only page 3, and I got a lot of stuff. So are we? But the first match we saw today was Alex de Minaur and Christian Garin. It was the epitome of a routine match. Okay, I cannot say the better player won though. Okay, Garin took it in 5. And the winner of this match, Garin, will face Kyrgios. And we're going to get into the Kyrgios match, but it seemed to me that early on, Carla and I think we both thought that Kyrgios was fixing to retire because his shoulder was hurting him. And Carla was like, man, this is the same old shit. It's just an act. And I was like, I don't know. He's getting painkillers. And she was like, it's just an act, trying to throw him off, just a different level of an act. We're going to get into that match, but think about that before we get into it. Was Kyrgios today just doing an act on a different level, or was he actually bothered? But Christian Garin won, but he shouldn't have. Why? His backhand is non-existent.
That was a terrible match.
Terrible match.
That was the same type of player playing. There was no strategy in that match. It was just very bad. I was trying to find other, hoping that another match would come, and then the Kyrgios match was kind of dead too. There was no liveliness to it. Like the one with Tsitsipas was kind of dead too. I was like going back and forth, and I'm like, they're still playing. Can someone end this misery? They got to the tiebreaker. I was like, Justin, are they playing a tiebreaker or are they playing games? And he's like, I think they're going to games. I'm like, oh gosh, shoot us, somebody. But then I saw the tiebreaker. I said, yes, and then he said, they should
let the crowd vote.
They should have asked the crowd if the match is good. Do you guys want to see a tiebreaker? Those raise your hand. Do you guys want to just see a play on to win best, whoever wins by 2?
Yeah,
this is the type of match that I would vote tiebreaker, 7 points, please.
Exactly. You want to tiebreak that. Yeah. So think about it. Nicholas Mahut, John Isner, and Kevin Anderson single-handedly, the 3 amigos, the 3 serve bot, not really Mahut, but anyway, they changed the majors as a whole, right? I mean, the U.S. Open always had the tiebreaker in the 5th. We talked about this before, and all of a sudden Wimbledon goes from the most traditional to taking steps down to be the least traditional. But do you think it would be a good idea if, let's say it was Federer and Djokovic playing, right? And we saw this before. Let's say it's Federer and Djokovic playing, or Nadal and Djokovic playing. And you get to 6-6 in the 5th set, you stop, and the umpire says, "Hey, crowd, do you want to stay all night even if you miss the bus with the subway and really may have to walk home? But do you want to see them end in the tiebreaker, or do you want to see them battle this out?" And then ask the crowd, yeah, tiebreaker. I think what Carl is alluding to, that if the crowd was in this position for this match, they would have been like, "Flip a coin, man! Don't even play the tiebreaker. Just flip the damn coin. Let me get out of here." A boring match. Yeah, and by the way,
today, July 4th, matches were boring. Yeah. Not exciting.
And you know what gave me...
It was tough to get into it.
Do you know what gave me a headache about this match? The color of Christian Garin's head racket.
I hate that racket.
Hate the damn racket. It's annoying. And if you're a player, when you have to look on the other side of the net and see this big neon thing flashing across...
My son had to play against an opponent with that racket.
Oh, my God, it gives me a headache thinking about it. Didn't Andre Agassi didn't Andre Agassi and Jim Courier get called out for the color of their racket, even though it's not them that makes it, it's their sponsor? And better yet, didn't Rafael Nadal at one point during the Australian Open complain about his opponent's yellow spot on his shirt because it blended in with the ball? Is it a hindrance? Look, if Homeboy's shirt at the Australian Open a decade ago was at least mentioned as a hindrance, right? Then that damn racket.
That racket's annoying. That match was horrible. It made me like not want to play tennis anymore.
Yeah, oh my God.
I really did. I'm like, if tennis was this way, I'm like, man.
Okay.
I think I would not play.
If you looked at the stats of the match, and I saw this on the tennis channel, by the way, but Christian Garin had put something like 70% of his backhands cross court. 70% of his backhand, where something like 11 was down the line, and the other was up the middle, and deep and down the middle.
Yeah, this is just.
I
mean, good for him. He's the second Chilean.
But he has a non-existent backhand, and he's still in the quarterfinals of the tournament.
Gonzo was the first one, and he's the second one. But this match was boring, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Wait!" And then the Nakashima and the Kyrgios match came, and that was boring as well. So now Kyrgios gets to play Garin. So hopefully that's more exciting. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it'll be the same deal.
Good questions, that's for life. I said that to my daughter. I said, I've never seen a guy wear shorts with a slit on the side. I thought that would be a girl thing. I mentioned it to her, and she looked at it, and I said, it's kind of weird for a guy to wear a slit. Their legs are not sexy. They're muscular.
Did anyone see the penguin dress that Tomljanovic was wearing? I like the penguin dress. Who is the penguin? What brand is the penguin?
I forgot. I would have to look it up.
Munsing or something?
No, it's not Munsing. It's Man.
The penguin?
Man.
I was a fan of the penguin. Yeah. Anyway, Alex de Minaur, look, and this is just my opinion. I think Alex de Minaur is the better player, but he lost the match. I think there was too much pushing in the match as we got further into the match. So many neutral balls. In other words, down the middle, maybe a little bit off center, being a little too careless or a little too nice, right? A little too. Oh my goodness! But didn't Alex de Minaur have two match points? In the third set. Yeah,
he was going to serve for it. It was just terrible, man. What a way to start the morning. Gosh, man, that put me cranky. I was like, really?
Yeah, at the end of
this match, and I was trying to get pumped up because I could sit down and chill out. I was falling asleep. I think I asked for margaritas pretty early.
Not really, because it wasn't that early. It was like maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay, well.
Is that early enough?
Well, I was bored. You were pacing. You're like, you want to go drive around?
Yeah, I asked someone to take a ride somewhere.
I was like, I've seen the island already.
Yeah. At the end of the second set, there was only 4 combined aces between Garin and de Minaur. This is men's tennis. I don't like serve bots, but at least let me get a handful of aces in a set. We had 4 combined at the end of 2 sets.
Just terrible match.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. The orange racket, though, was the most annoying thing. It really was hideous. If you're a player or you've coached on court and you're taking in all this stuff, your player, your opponent, the crowd, the sun and everything else, and you got this damn orange thing, who needs it? It was really a bad look, at least from a player standpoint, because I've had to deal with it before. They should make, if Wimbledon is going to have such simple outfits, I think that they should think about maybe, getting approval for the loudness of the racket, because it's freaking annoying. Who are some other players that had loud rackets? Jimmy Connors. Remember the epic battle between Connors and Krickstein, U.S. Open 4th round, I think. It was a 3rd round match. Do you remember the Connors-Krickstein epic 5-setter where Connors pulled it out? Yeah. He was using the racket. Do you remember Andre Agassi had the bright yellow Danae racket? Mm-hmm. Did not Matteo Berrettini have a bright yellow head racket? Did he not? Did he play with a bright yellow racket?
Oh, Alex asking, de Minaur versus Garin or Pelka versus Isner? I'd rather watch the 2 serve bots play each other than watch the de Minaur. At least I can say, okay, that was pretty fast. Did you see that? And I could grab like binoculars and maybe have fun with that, but not that de Minaur Garin match. I almost felt like I was Wozniacki talking.
That was a good question. You have to think about that.
No, I don't have to think about it. I'd rather see the 2 serve bots, because at least I can laugh about Paul Bunyan and laugh at the other one. This was nothing to laugh at. It was just no.
And usually the score outcome is different. The serve bots are like 7-6, 6-7, 4-6, 7-6, 6-7, 6-7. And when you have these type of guys that are playing so long, and just so neutral, it's just
like, it's like they were going forehand cross court. I'm like, are we just waiting for one person to miss, like hoping and praying that, I'll keep hitting to his forehand. Perhaps he'll miss it before me.
Yeah, but the biggest thing
really,
it made me think about how weak-minded de Minaur is, because if you're on the court, and you should be able to realize as a player that almost every one of his backhands is coming to your backhand. So do 2 things. stay at home a little bit more on that side. And if you're not able to change direction on that backhand, then hold home, step around and take the inside in. Come around the forehand, smoke it up the line. If he's hitting like 80% of his backhands to your backhand in the corner, think about it. Let me play to that average. If he's missing 5 out of 10 shots up the line, hardly hitting very few in the middle, and if so, pretty much short, or at least, center or 3/4 court, somewhere in there, not quite on the service line, not quite penetrating deep on the baseline, but right there in Centerville, I'm gonna hang it home, because if you think about it, if I have 80% of my shots coming to the backhand, another 10% in the middle, and then so 90% are landing in the center of the court or to my backhand side, I am gonna play on my left foot, right-handed player. I'm going to play on my left foot. I'm going to be leaning towards that side. I'm going to force him to hit down. I'm going to force him to be uncomfortable. And when he gives me that damn short ball, or he gives me that ball to my backhand, guess what? I'm going to be there with quick, happy feet. I'm going to scoot around. I'm going to thump the ball up the line. Dimanor, if he had any sense, sometimes I wonder his maturity level. So sometimes I wonder about his ability to process information and to be his own statistician. LeBron James, my man. LeBron James is a beast about statistics. LeBron James dissects the game during the game on the sidelines with stat sheets and breaks it down. He always puts people in the best position so they can do the best at their job. And how does he do that? Statistics. And he does it in the middle of the game on the sidelines with stat sheets and iPads. Anyway, Dimanor, if he could have processed a little bit of information, he should have been able to close out that match that, by the way, let me reiterate, he had 2 damn match points on. Just saying.
I fell asleep talking about this.
Just saying. And by the way, wasn't Alice Dimanor as well in that whole next gen type bullshit? Didn't we have to put up with watching a bunch of cheeseball donut heads doing this next gen thing because no one could beat the big 3, 4, 5, or 6 if you include Murray, Delpo, and Wawa? Okay, we had to lap up Demon over then. Now I just tell myself that, oh my gosh, the next gen players suck so bad because Dimanor could not process that this dipshit is hitting to my backhand all the time, but he's missing everything up the line. Give him the line.
Why are you still talking about this match, please?
Because it's shit coaching. Who's his coach?
Next match, please.
Coach the man. Stop.
Zesrali says this. Gorin have a chance against Kyrgios. Nick's body breaking down.
Yes. Yeah, because of that.
Because they're not coaching from the stands yet, Eleanor. That's not it. That's not for this tournament. Not yet.
The match today with Gorin was boring.
Most of the matches were boring. Nick Kyrgios' match was boring. Fritz was dominating. It was boring. Nadal's match was boring. Amanda Anisimova, at least she did what she had to do.
She was too much for time.
She was too much, and that's what we expected. She was playing her game like she should. Cornet and Tomljanovic, there was a lot of drama there. Cornet had that match and whatever. Tomljanovic pulled through. What was he? Halep destroyed Badosa. I mean, it was boring.
Hold on, time out. Do you know that Carla in the past 30 seconds had rolled off every segment? So we could do like a quick version of this show. We could do the show and it could be like Carla's 1 minute. And she'd be like, Tomljanovic, George, she sucked. He played good. Fuck you. And shit on you. And you got shit sportsmanship. And see ya. But I write this shit for an hour. You just coughed it up in 30 seconds.
How bad the attendance was today.
Yeah, girl.
I'm sorry. The Badosa thing.
Anyway.
All the guys.
She's
so hot.
You get to the point.
All the guys. She's so hot.
Let's go.
She's so hot. She's top 5. Wildlife sends me this thing. How was destroying her? Duh. That's because she was never top 5. I mean, really.
Yeah, exactly.
She was never top 5.
You guys can't tell me Badosa is really a top 5 player.
Really? I mean.
Yeah, she's just average.
Like that was horrible. Like that was like quicker than this show.
Yeah, Raducanu who?
Oh my God! I don't need a notebook for today's matches. You don't need a notebook. It was boring. Yeah. It was bad. Nick with his same shit. Badosa just went to model some weird ass skirt. Halep screeched. Tomljanovic was dying. She was still dying. Cornet had the match point. Tomljanovic came back.
Let's go.
Shouldn't have been in the 4th round, but she was. Anisimova played her like a real player should.
Yeah, and by the way, this morning I came down to the computer and I was like, Carla, what time are we scheduling to do the show at? And she was like, I don't know, 2 or 3. So I sat down at like 9 or 10 in the morning and I wrote the title and I was like, Wimbledon discussion 2022 fourth round action. And I put in I just like, okay, Halep, okay, Anisimova, okay, Kyrgios, okay, Nadal. And this was before the matches really started and all of them won. So they were very predictable. The better players won except in the Garin match. Demandor should have won that. That's a coaching problem. Look, I'm a coach and have a passion for it. I take it very, 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 very seriously. Okay, it's not work for me. It's passion. I love it. Okay, I love getting in people's face and trying to motivate them. I do. I love it. I love the ups. I love the downs. I love navigating that. It's a beautiful thing, especially when it's kids from their first ball until college and getting an opportunity for a higher education because of the blessing that I had for we had to work with them. But D minor, bro, this is an elementary correctable 3-set win for you. Had 2 match points and was he up 2 sets to none? Was D minor 2 sets to none, or was it a 4-set where he had 2 match points? Anyway, it doesn't matter. When you are playing on the pro tour, we heard it today on the Tennis Channel. Darren Cahill, who I admire a lot as a player, as a person, as a coach, and as well as a commentator. Darren Cahill said it perfectly. If you had a huge clinic of people in men's tennis, and you had people that were ranked number 50 in the world, all the way to about 500 in the world. So in other words, the top 450 players, the top 50 to the top 500. You couldn't tell the difference in practice who's better or worse. They're all about the same. But he said that the players inside the top 50, you'll start to see a little bit of difference. So with that said, A, do you agree with Darren Cahill? And B, how do those players find a way to crack into that top 50 that are all the same beyond the top 50? Right? How do they do it? Is it luck? Is it a win streak? Is it sponsor? Is it the way they look, the way they talk, where they're from? It can't be they're from Russia or Belarus for crying out loud, which is shit on a stick.
Well, here's another message that Wildlife. See, I don't have to take notes, and I take my notes here. He writes, and that's his way of doing things. I don't function that way.
I write too.
What Wildlife sends me a message. He says, honestly, I'm glad that they didn't have points this year. The draw is an absolute cluster. A lot of these players shouldn't have quarterfinal, semifinal points on their ranking. They've beaten nobody. And I said, but even with points, I said it would be the same. I think a couple of things with the Russians would have been different. The reality is no one trains on grass. Not enough time to prepare. He says, well, if Medvedev, Rublev, Zverev all play, it would have been less chaotic. I said, well, Zverev's hurt, so only Med or Rublev. But let's be honest, Rublev, okay, Medvedev could have lost first round early. And then I said, women's tennis has been bad for a while. He said, the women's is terrible too. Halep versus Badosa is the only match that interests me until the final. The final will only be interesting if Halep versus Jabeur. And then when we see the match happen, he's like, wow. He's like, Halep ruined it for me. And then he sends me this picture of guess who's back there, where he has no business being.
Is that Luke Jensen?
Who he has no business being at the celebration. Who is that, people? Who is that back there?
I can't see that. You did that too quick.
Who is back there?
Oh, that's Rod Laver and.
But who is back there?
Oh, Mouratoglou.
He's like, can you believe this?
All right, so there's Rod Laver, and if you look behind him, you see in the black T-shirt, you see Patrick Mouratoglou.
Why is he there?
Because he's always there. Why do you think we call Patrick Mouratoglou Jack in the Box? Jack in the Box always pops up. It has. Look, I used to live out west. I was born in California, migrated here later on. But in California, we had a restaurant chain or fast food restaurant. And we didn't eat there. My dad would never allow us, or my mom would never allow us to eat at Jack in the Box. Maybe if we stayed with friends or something. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. But Jack in the Box was a fast food chain. We call Patrick Mouratoglou Jack in the Box because every time there's a player that gets hot, all of a sudden Patrick Mouratoglou pops up like a jack in the box in their box. Hey, look at me.
I will announce.
I look good.
I will announce the fantasy thing. He said it
Yes.
to me. Gene
All right,
sent it to
let me
me.
finish this. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I know.
Okay. Interjections. Never good. Okay. Patrick Mouratoglou, as we began to watch the Simona Halep match, Carl and I said we would try to count the amount of times that we saw Patrick Mouratoglou during that match. And did you know that the coverage, was it ESPN? Yes, it was ESPN and ESPN2 that we were watching coverage on. So we had both women's matches 2 times. So we had, anyway, it was a nice run. But Carla, by the way, let me be clear. Carla loves Simona Halep. She likes Halep a lot. Doesn't particularly care for her screeching grunt that sounds like she just got her leg chopped off in the middle of the woods with a rusty axe. Forget about that. She likes Halep. But she doesn't want Halep to win this tournament because she knows that Patrick Mouratoglou, ooh la la, man, will get the credit, right? Do you know where you can even find that ooh la la video?
Find it.
She has an amazing video that we did on the show the other day. It was amazing. It showed the cheesiness of Patrick Mouratoglou telling Halep how to hit a ooh la la serve on the grass that will give everybody fits. Because I look so good, you'll win. But if he wins, this is going to further his ego. Now, I must say this. I must be very honest that Patrick Mouratoglou to me is a fine coach, great coach. I definitely study a lot of his drills, a lot of his takes on things. I find it very, very, very fortuitous. Okay, he has a lot of good metaphors. Has for many, many years.
I told you. Okay, good.
Is that it?
Excellent. Now you do the same, but instead of hitting here, you just do this, and you're gonna hit it here. Okay. Yes. So this is a lot of slice. Yes, this is a lot of spin. Okay, perfect. Now you want to do the motion? Do the same. If the ball goes
like a hacker.
don't care. Yes, perfect. You can hit maximum spin with your hand. If you close it like this, you're gonna always have this result, but it's gonna be in. Exactly. You see the spin? Yes.
Yes.
How good is that? You want to do a lot of spin, but with angle? Yes, again?
Ooh la la.
Imagine this on grass.
Here
Oh
we
la
go.
la la la! Look at this one.
Ooh la 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 la.
I told you.
Oui, oui.
Okay,
I
good.
love you.
Excellent. Now you do the same. But instead of hitting
You're
here,
doing this again.
Guys,
just do this.
understand.
Ooh la la la.
Understand.
That's what she did to Mendoza. It worked. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Magnificent.
Oh, man.
But by the way, okay, so back to the amount of times we counted Jack in the Box popping up in everybody's box. Now, by the way, when Tsitsipas got his ass whipped by Nick Kyrgios, did you see Patrick Mouratoglou popping up in his box?
No.
Think about this. Think about this for a moment. Patrick Mouratoglou did not pop up in the box of the Jack that he was coaching because maybe he knew that Nick Kyrgios was going to spank his little sissy ass. Get his last name. It's very similar. Sissy ass to Tsitsipas. It's very close.
Oh,
Sissy ass, Tsitsipas.
You know, I was laughing.
Sissy ass,
I was
Tsitsipas.
laughing at the interview. It
Yes.
just killed
Sissy
me.
ass,
See, I have
Tsitsipas.
more fun with that today.
Yeah.
Looking for videos like that than watching the actual tennis matches.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now, does this display Patrick Mouratoglou's genius? Meaning, he didn't sit in Apostolos Tsitsipas's next chair. He didn't show up in the box because maybe he thought Nick Kyrgios would have his way. But oh yeah, ooh la la, we'll pop up in Halep's box, knowing that this was going to be a pretty straightforward win for Halep. But Dosa is not, and I repeat, is damn sure not a top 5 player. Maybe in this weak-ass era, correct me if I'm wrong, but damn, didn't Raducanu who just win a damn U.S. Open? Who can't win a match since then? Or maybe a few? Who? Raducanu who?
I was trying to find that video that cracked me up.
Badosa who? Come on, man. Badosa's a pretty girl. She's a strong athlete. She's a great tennis player, but she's not a major champion. She never will be. She's not even a player such as the likes of Wozniacki or Anna Ivanovic or many others that hung around long enough to finally get that one major so they can put their name in the history books. But Dosa will not, and I repeat, will not have that luxury. She will not be a Wozniacki. She will not be a Anna Ivanovic and thousands of other tennis players. Not thousands, because not that many people have won majors, but you get what I'm saying. She will not be that player. She's not great. She's good. She's great. She's on the pro tour. Excellent tennis player. Fine player. I love her to have at our club anytime. Mm-hmm. But besides that, she's just an ordinary tennis player. What is Badosa going to beat you with? What weapons does she have that Badosa is going to beat you with that you haven't seen on? Just like Darren Cahill said today, there is a marginal difference between a player that's ranked 50 in the world and ranked 500 in the world. And what happens between that span of players sometimes is a matter of sheer luck or exposure or whatever. There are multiple tennis pros, coaches that we affiliate with and have affiliated with from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. All of them fine players, fine coaches, been there, D1 players, played their ass off, trained on the court for 6 hours a day. Carla, me, my dad, for crying out loud, 84 and did it. There is a big damn difference between really good players and just good tennis players. And because of the level of depth and both, I guess you could say both the men's and women's game at this point between the big two and
I was just trying to find that video where Tsitsipas sounded like a crybaby. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I was laughing. I was really laughing. I was trying to find it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, during the Halep match, we counted the presence of Patrick Mouratoglou about 22 times. I don't even think we saw Halep's opponent, Badosa, but 22 times the entire match. And I'm exaggerating a bit, but damn, I do know one thing after watching the match, that Asics has put out an Asics shirt that was reminiscent of the Roger Federer 2007 shirt and jacket that he had the 15 on when he beat Andy Roddick. What was it? 9-7 in the fifth. When you cried, I remember that. But I do think that Mouratoglou could not wait to have his Asics shirt with the gold lapel, the gold highlights on the collar. It looked like he was trying to be more than Federer with his outfit in the box because he just signed Halep, which really didn't need him anyway. Now, if Halep wins, do you agree with Carla that Mouratoglou will once again have exponential gains in his academy? Hello?
Yeah, I'm removing this idiot that left a terrible message for Gene.
Oh, who cares? Gene Swartz, our moderator. He's our man. We love Gene.
No, Patrick.
Gene, we love you. Gene, by the way, always a shout out to Gene Swartz. Fine young man, yes. South Africa, family man, young man, the brother. Works his ass off, studies, is a fine young man. Gene is a big part, a huge part of our everyday. Yeah. Let's go, Gene.
He was asking, did you guys talk about the Wimbledon fine yet? I know that Tsitsipas got fined for $10,000 for throwing the ball or hitting somebody or almost harming someone with a tennis ball, and then Nick got fined another $4,000 for the bad words.
Yeah,
total 14,000 so far.
You know, and I think Darren Cahill today said something as well about the Kyrgios situation, that he had seen much worse than that in his career on far courts, or where there's been no television coverage and where no one would hear about it. That has gone unpunished.
Oh, now we did talk about the Wimbledon fine. Yeah, we did talk about that one.
Yeah. Sorry. You know, there was a player not terribly long ago, or a video circulating, and I forget where we saw it. There was a guy, I don't need to mention the country, I think he was Iranian or something, and he got into this huge fist fight type altercation on the court in the middle of a challenger, and jumped on the fence.
It was in Africa.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. But anyway, stuff like this happens. It's just that it very rarely it is filmed. But it happens. We have adults that come out for lessons. We're not even playing. Adult men, and they'll throw their racket around when they miss a ball and prayer. Let me feed you a forehand over defense. Smash! What the heck? Grown men throwing their rackets, and they're like doctors. You're like, what the fuck? You're like, what the fuck, man? It's like, dude, you're like pulling up in a Benz, and you're like throwing your racket because you're like, what? makes you kind of question your thoughts about booking them for another lesson. Like,
Absolutely.
go let them take somewhere else because I don't need this shit.
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, this has happened maybe this has happened in our coaching career together, 12 years. I think it's happened maybe a handful of times. I think I can count them. Definitely would never mention names, but I think we can count on one hand. It's what happens rarely, but when it happens, it sucks. But nonetheless, if there was a camera all around every coach in the world and added them all together, it'd be a lot of damn videos. It's not just us. It's coaches everywhere. We meet with pros all the time going to other tournaments that our kids play in. And we get these, dramatic stories about, holy shit, I had the student that it happens everywhere, at every club, at every place. It's just you're athletes and you're competing and tempers flare, and that's just it. And that's why Sisyphus must learn to roll with the blows in sports. Okay, handle it, bro. Everyone reacts differently. Got to be a little careful about that. Does Halep win Wimbledon?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Any votes on that? Can you pull that? Does Simona Halep win Wimbledon? It's a great question. I think at this point, if you look at the remaining matches.
Our next one is Anisimova.
Okay. Carla, by the way, a teaser for the U.S. Open. So every major, we give away 2 separate piles of cash. $50 to the 2 fantasy team winners, and then another $100 for whoever can predict the men's final, women's final, and both winners. Well, no one has done that for 6 majors, and now making 7 here. Now, Carla, by the way, she's not going to win her own money, but Carla is still very much alive. Carla predicted Rafael Nadal to beat Novak Djokovic and Amanda Anisimova to beat Ons Jabeur. Everyone else out of 28 players is out. She's still alive. Now, the good news is we are rolling over to the U.S. Open $700 cash. So do yourself a favor. If you think our shit sucks and you don't even want to be here, that's fine. I would suggest subscribing though and playing that game, because if you predict the women's final and the men's final and both winners, we will send you $700 cash US, not rubles or pesos. $700 cash US. We will send it to you.
700 pesos. That's funny.
Not pesos, US dollars. Okay. Anyway, but Carla is still in it, and I think that's very good. But look at the rest of the women's draw. Besides Anisimova, Rybakina, Tomljanovic, Nemier, how do you solve a problem like Maria, Jabeur, and Buskova? Halep has the goods. Halep has the game. Halep has the fight. Halep has the desire. I don't see anything ailing her at this point physically. I think Halep can solve the problem like Maria. I think Halep wins the shit like a crown.
Dear God, I hope not.
Let's go. Jabeur, I think, will be around for the thick of it. I do. But I think that Anisimova will not be able to overcome Halep. I just don't think so. It's so great, though. I don't think they've
played enough times. I think that you can have my drink, by the way. I don't want it. I think that Anisimova can overpower Halep.
She can. Yeah. You're correct.
I gotta turn on the AC. I'm so sorry.
Okay. If you had to pick though, Carla, if you had to pick who would win that match, who would it be?
Anisimova, 3 sets.
3 set Anisimova win?
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Does Anisimova win in 3 sets? As Carla's indicated. I do have to give her props though. You got to. I remember doing these draws, and she has it on her draw. She chose Anisimova to win the tournament. Check out our first shows out for the tournament. She picked it. So I kind of laughed at it too.
The reason why I picked Jabeur is because I saw her side and I said, "Oh, she has a very doable draw. Her slice alone will help her, but I think once she meets a power player, she'll have trouble."
All right, shifting gears just for a moment on the Nick Kyrgios and Nakashima match. I must reiterate that Nakashima is not Japanese. He's American. He actually played 1 year of college tennis at the University of Virginia, and foregone his last years of eligibility and turned pro. He's only 20 years old. He's a tall 6'2". He's a big 6'2". And what do I mean by a big or a tall 6'2"? I'm 6'1", and a lot of people will like see me here on the show, whatever, and they'll meet me like, wow, you're taller than I thought. Anyway, there are big levels of height that are the same inches. Sometimes people just stand differently. Anyway.
Yeah, like to me, Carlo Alcaraz is kind of small, but he's not.
Yeah.
6 feet.
Nakashima is a big 6'2". He's a thick guy. He's a strong guy. He's well raised. He's intelligent. he played a really good first set against Kyrgios. I do think that the shoulder was a little bit of a mind trick there. Now, granted, he started playing better, i.e. Kyrgios, when he had his couple of painkillers on the sidelines. I wish they wouldn't show that, by the way. I don't think there's any good that comes out of watching a trainer give two players painkillers. I don't think that's a great thing at all. Thoughts on that? I know the world's a fucked up place, and ultimately people are up on painkillers all the time, and then they start killing people when they don't have them. I wish they just wouldn't even begin to show it on television, even if it was Tylenol. I just care not to see it, and I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, look, it's not a. Anyway, there's some personal experience with loved ones for me that I've dealt with.
I don't see the reason why they do that. They should not.
They shouldn't show that. Just like Novak Djokovic doesn't need to tell the world he's vaccinated or unvaccinated. They don't need to show someone taking prescription narcotic painkillers on the sideline. Just cut to a commercial or put the video in the crowd of some of these pretty ladies or something. But who needs it? But after that, he kind of settled in with the shoulder. I do think there was a little bit of mental mind chess going on there. He couldn't act like a fool again because he just did it the night before or 2 days before. So I think it was just another.
Was it this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this one.
So anyway.
He was like.
That was him. Good job for Nick Kyrgios, though. The first time and second.
Well, he doesn't really. He actually wants Halep to win, even with Patrick.
I do want Halep to win.
He doesn't. It's me who has a problem with it. So far, I've been right. Your boy Alcaraz lost. Tiafoe, like I said, had less chance than Santa Claus winning. I've been right. I think Halep will go down.
Yeah, and I like Paul Lemon's comment.
No, you should not take any substance.
He says, while Serena is a GOAT, her occasional on-court antics have left a bad taste in my mouth. Agreed. And I think we can all agree with that, especially the Clijsters match and especially the U.S. Open final that Osaka beat her in. And by the way, in terms of, yes, you can take anything you want. That's fine. Look, you can go out there and smoke a rock, or for all I give a shit. I don't care. But just don't let my kids see it. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Look, if I'm going to go drink a beer, I'll drink a beer. If I'm going to go out and, puff on a fatty, I'll do that. Whatever. I'm not saying me. I'm just making an example. But I don't want it to be necessarily seen on television, right? Anyway, and then for some, it kind of like, okay, well, if he does it, then I can do it. Anyway.
Seeing that there's a big problem with that. Yeah,
there's like a huge opioid epidemic, a huge, monumental. Families are destroyed, literally destroyed. How many NFL football players and athletes get done with their tenure in the sport, 2 to 10 years, and they can't walk anymore, and they keep in their pocket a bottle of painkillers?
We've seen some that have even gone to as far as stealing.
Yeah. What was his name? Ryan Leaf, the quarterback that came out of – where did Ryan Leaf play? He played at San Diego. He was drafted by the Chargers and played like shit. What did he play for? Washington State? Come on, NFL, NCAA fans. Ryan Leaf. He was like one of the biggest busts ever because of that. Anyway, it's a dime a dozen. It happens everywhere. A shout out to Nick Kyrgios, by the way, I must say, for making his first quarterfinal since freaking 7 years ago.
Well, Joey, isn't Nick Kyrgios from Australia? The land of the junkie tennis players?
But he's okay. I mean, it makes sense, though.
How is it the land of the junkie tennis players? What is he trying to say?
I don't know.
Are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Like as they suck, or because they're on painkillers? I don't know.
No, I think the comment may be that the USA has the reputation for having a massive opioid epidemic, and maybe everybody in the USA.
I don't know. So far, I've seen Novak screaming for his painkillers. So Nick Kyrgios.
Good point.
I mean,
Nadal. Good point.
There's no Americans at the top.
Fact check.
Dropping
knowledge. We
don't really see the Americans do that because they don't get that far to take them.
Yeah.
So, Joey, I think you better fact check that.
Yeah. A lot of times in the USA, our college coaches try to actually make our players finish college, except Nakashima.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Nakashima, by the way, was the number 3 ranked junior. And that's a big deal. So we have to remember that Nakashima, being 20 now, was the number 3 ranked junior in 2018. It's 2022, 4 years later. What type of chance does Nakashima have moving forward? Is Nakashima the type of person you can see make the second week of majors consistently? I'm not saying win them.
Not yet, no.
But looking forward, his whole package, this young package, what do you see?
He's got a good package.
Yeah.
Look, he's a big guy, strong guy, young.
Not on clay, though.
He needs more matches.
Not on clay.
More match experience. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, he won't be.
Nishikori, why is he coming back, Gene? He should stay in retirement. Don't need Nishikori on the tour.
Nishikori would be a good professional skateboarder.
Don't need him on the tour.
He's got the look of a skateboarder. It's been 7 years since Nick Kyrgios has made a major quarterfinal. Okay. He sells out stadiums either way. He can make the second round.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was women's matches on it. Both channels had the whole Nick Kyrgios finishing his interview. I mean, what does that tell you? Both channels. But yeah, there were women matches going on. So yeah.
Can you poll question something? Is Nick Kyrgios actually good for tennis? Yes or no? Look.
I think we've asked this before.
Well, okay. We're not going to, we did talk about it yesterday, but, you know, Chris Everett hates it. And then her co-commentator loves it. Which way is it for you? And I get both sides of the story. We won't beat a dead horse. Rybakina, or as we all know now, it's another last name change. Not
Trouble Mine.
Yeah.
Joker has asked for those pills too.
Yeah, they all have.
He has screamed for it.
Yes.
We have seen him many times. And they need them because they're in pain a lot of times. We get it. But what I'm saying, I was just trying to tell, what's his name? Don't say Americans, because there's no top American players. Most of them that are taking it are non-American players.
Idemo, let's go. You know, I'm a huge Novak fan, but there are many a times where Djokovic has looked towards his wife, Vajda Ivanisevic, asking for his bottle with pills in it.
Factual.
Definitely.
It's factual. These guys
Definitely.
factual.
Fact. He was screaming for his painkillers in a final against Nadal.
Factual, dude.
Yeah.
There's no innocence in that. There's no innocence in Nadal. They all do it. I'm not just.
Is he taking that out?
Yeah, he's taking that. I mean, I'm not.
Thank you, Gene.
I'm not judging that. I mean, I'm just saying that's what they do. I can't swallow pills. I can't even take a Tylenol because I can't swallow pills. So it's hard for me to do that.
Rybakina now, not Rybakina anymore, but Rybakina, Chewbacca, took out Petra Martic in straight sets, and Rybakina, Chewbacca, will face Tomljanovic in the next round. The winner of that match, by the way, will face the winner between Halep and Anisimova. Is it a guaranteed conclusion that whoever wins between Halep and Anisimova will ultimately be in the final?
No.
So you think
it's women's tennis. You never know. They can have a bad day and just play like shit. We've seen it before. We've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Definitely not a guarantee.
Are you still sticking by your guns that Anisimova and Jabeur will meet in the final?
I'm still sticking to it, but what I'm saying, there's no guarantee. That's not your final.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. An interesting fact, a break from tennis just for a moment. You all know, Carla, if you followed us for a little while, that we're sneakerheads, or at least I am. In other words, we buy and sell shoes and hustle shoes, and we have for a long time, right? We came across an article this morning about Michael Jordan and his endeavor as a businessman in the world of sneakers. So it was a really interesting article, and I love Jordan. Jordan's one of my childhood icons. I used to run home from school to hopefully be able to get Jordan on the Rabbit Ears TV and watch him play. Anyway, a couple interesting business facts. Michael Jordan to this very day averages personal gain of about $10 US for every shoe that Nike Air Jordan sells. Okay. So $10, it's not a lot. His name's on it. It's his logo. He's with the, don't, like in your face, bro. Anyway, in 1984, Michael Jordan signed a deal with Nike for $500,000 for a 3-year term. Okay, so Michael Jordan got paid $500,000 for 3 years. Nike at that point in time projected that they projected that they would sell $3 million worth of Jordan shoes within 3 years. Okay, so Michael Jordan got basically like an eighth of that. Anyway, huge missed prediction. Michael Jordan and his shoes sold $126 million in the first year. $126 million in the first year, and it was only projected that they would sell $3 million in 3 years. Okay. So I remember in sixth grade, early 80s, I became a Jordan fan then. I had every year my mom would buy me a different pair of shoes. And I went back and I thought about it. In sixth grade, the 4s, in seventh grade, the 5s, in eighth grade, the 6s, and so forth. Long story short, Jordan's total approximate net earnings based upon shoe sales and only shoe sales, much less sponsorships and huge other deals, owning a basketball team, Hornets, whatever. He has made 1.3 billion in sneaker sales. I have a couple of favorites. If your sneakerheads are out there, what are your favorite Jordans? My favorites are the infrared 6s, the Weatherman phone. Anyway, I won't get into that. But what I wanted to do is because I am a sneakerhead. I wanted to grab a couple pairs of my shoes. And I have a lot more shoes, but I wanted to grab a couple pair that were important to me for multiple reasons. And some of the shoes, by the way, aren't my shoes. I get them for Carla. Because if I like a shoe a lot and I can't find it in my size because it's hard to come by, I get them for her in her size. Because a men's size 7.5 sometimes you can get one, right? Because she wears a women's 9. So I get her a men's 7.5. So sometimes I find a way to get her the rare shoe if they don't have it for me. And sometimes vice versa. Sometimes just get you the shoe. So I'm going to show you a couple pairs of the shoes. First pair I'm going to show you is actually going to be Carla's. And this is a pair of Serena Williams Air Jordan bred Serena shoes. Okay, it's really hard to find, but it's got the New York City laces. If you can see, it says like the New York State of Mind, concrete jungle. What's up? Okay, very well kept. So this is a really rare pair of shoes. You won't find these at your local tennis shop, that's for sure. Really nice shoe. Carla, your thoughts on these shoes? Do you like those?
Yes.
Okay. Next pair of shoes. This pair of shoes, by the way, is one of my all-time favorite shoes. This pair of shoes was actually bought for me in Nigeria, in Africa. And this pair of shoes actually came from my son in lieu of his roommate at the United States Air Force Academy. So his roommate is a Nigerian descent of, I think, upper echelon.
Rwanda. He's the son
Rwanda, yes.
He's the son of the general.
It's like a son of the general of the army in Rwanda.
Yes.
Anyway, so he was invited to go to like some type of market there. And Jonathan was like, they have your infrared 6s here. And I told him, I was like, they have to be fake. Go to the label, take the
He's not selling them. He just came out with an article about Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah,
So Jonathan, I told Jonathan, take a picture of the label inside the shoe so I can look it up and make sure it's legit. So he did. They were real. So these were sent to me from Nigeria. And I've worn them once. One time I've worn these to a fish show. The same shirt I have on, I wore them to this fish show. Okay. But these are infrared 6s OG. Okay. First release, gold laces. These are quite rare. You won't see a pair like that. I can assure you. You're going to see the infrared 6s, but they're going to have black laces. Anyway, these are a really special pair of shoes to me. So infrared 6s, these ones are the bomb. All right. Djokovic fans, the first pair of Djokovic FF2s to my inventory. So I wear these a lot. This is my kind of my choice shoe. This is what I wear every day with the laces in here. Winter is here because it's cold as ice. We keep it cold in here. We hit the ball. Hit the ball. Let's go. So these are the Djokovic FF2s. I wear these often. So most of my other shoes I don't wear at all, but these I wear. Right? These I wear. So this is like a daily tennis court shoe for me. Okay. All right. Next pair. So Carla has a pair of Foamposite, the Penny Hardaway's Foamposite 1, not the Pro with the Nike symbol, with a Vapor X mix with the Federer line of Vapor Tour shoes. Now I have the same pair of shoes on. I have this in my size too, but these are Carla's in much better shape. The green tip laces. Totally nice, iced out bottoms, really nice shoe, and I got these for Carla. So I have the same pair too as well, but I have them on. But that's Carla's Foamposite, really nice shoe. That's a tennis shoe, not the basketball shoe. Okay. All right, moving forward. So I just got these recently. These are really gnarly. So these are another pair of the Djokovic Asics FF2. Okay. The blue, the camo, the laces, Djokovic in the back. Okay. Now, I wear these sometimes, not very much. They were very hard to get. I started trying to find these shoes in April, and different people, different pro shops, different manufacturers, ASICs themselves, could never guarantee me the shoe. They could never guarantee it to me. So I ended up getting these shoes off of a guy that had a pro shop in California. And I was finally able to lock them in. So really good shoe.
Yes, Novak shoes.
Yeah, the lace locks hold the laces. It's not tied up. And then the shoelaces say shoelaces. So it says shoelaces and it's not tied. It's got a lace lock on it. So pretty freaking sick shoes for real. Okay.
Manly said, dude, you're the first person I've ever seen collect Djokovic shoes. Unbelievable.
Okay. So
Unbelievable. Me too. I don't like Novak shoes.
Here's my next pair. Now, these shoes actually are a pair of shoes that Carla and I both have. I bought these for her too.
Unbelievable.
So we both have them. These are the LeBron 9 Mango Tree.
Those are very, very nice.
So these,
Nice,
these are really sick shoes for real. So
they glow in the dark.
They glow in the dark.
Because I was in the bathroom and I turned off the light.
Yeah, if you cut out the lights, the bottoms glow. They're like, what, let's go. You got like bing, bing. So if you go into like a club, which we never go to because we got 5 kids.
Why would you want to go to a club?
But yeah, if you went to a club, the bottom of the shoes would glow in a black light. And Carla realized that in the bathroom as the power went out or something.
No, I'm weird. I like doing things in the dark. You know, like I like being in the dark. I don't have a problem with darkness.
Carla likes to do things in the dark.
I can shower in the dark. I mean, I don't mind. I like it when it's dark.
All right, I'm getting to the better shit now. Okay. Now this pair is insane.
No, we saw some new issues a long time
Okay,
ago.
this is my favorite pair of shoes. Well, I can't say my favorite. Okay, but they're close.
No, he's not a LeBron.
You guys know I do weather videos, right? You know I follow hurricanes and track weather and filmed our house blowing apart. If you haven't seen any of our weather videos, check out the playlist weather updates on this same channel. Just go to playlist and look at it. We've got some really good weather videos where literally our house was ripped apart, literally. But these are my Weatherman foam posits, original 2013 release. Okay, I got the original receipt. 2013 release. I still have the Weatherman tracker tag. Boom. I've worn these one time. Yes, those that follow our eBay stuff, one time. Okay. So Weatherman foam posits, Penny Hardaway. Let's go. Okay. And this is the Doppler radar on the sides, the Doppler radar. Okay, moving forward, I got a couple more pair and then we're going to move on. Okay. 2 more pair, 2 more, those. Okay. 2 more pair. Okay, it's always good to get a 1. Like if you're a sneakerhead and there's a player, a basketball player or a tennis, whatever it is, and there's someone that you think will be a lights out player. It's good to get their 1 because that 1, it's kind of like just the other day I got really lucky. There was a launch of the charcoal high OG Jordan 1, and usually that shoe sells out like immediately. And so I put myself in for the lottery and I got a pair. So I have a new pair that should be here next week. And I will never wear those. I'll keep those. Your brother has a pair similar. Anyway, but this is the Trae Young Adidas 1. Every time that I wear these, and I have worn these a handful of times, every time I wear these, people are like, where'd you get your shoes? But this is the Trae Young Adidas 1. So kind of loud, kind of nice. I know B-Doggo2, what's up, Bobby Harris out there? He got the same pair once he saw him. But these are the Trae Young 1s. So lace locks, not tied, got the lace lock. Very solid shoe. I would wear it for tennis, but because we play on clay, I don't want to ruin them. But these are the Trae Young 1s, okay? Last pair. Ready for the last pair, Carla?
Yes.
And I have more, but I'm just showing you my favorites. Okay, so hold on. Here's the last pair, Carlita. Last pair. Oh. All right, here we go. This is my favorite tennis shoe that I have. Never worn these, never once. Rafael Nadal wears the line of shoes, the Cage, right? And if you're a tennis player, more than likely you buy the Cage shoes because they have a sole warranty, right? If you chew through the soles, you get another pair from Nike of the same cost or less, right?
Or broken racket. There is no broken racket. Where do you see a broken racket?
No broken rackets. We have some broken rackets. Okay. Anyway, so there is a school that deals with children with issues, and it's the Dornbecker School for Children. And so every year Nike will do a joint work between some of the kids from this school and those that put out sneakers, Nike, Jordan, Nadal, Federer, whatever. So recently, Dornbecker worked with one child there that put out a tennis shoe. So it was a cage shoe, the same one Nadal wears. However, if you keep up with sneakers, Nadal wears the older model. He wears still an old web design of the current. Anyway, but there was an athlete called Amelie Phillips, and she's a handicap quad tennis player. And the Dornbecker child helped Nike design these shoes. And again, I've never worn them, and I'll show you what they look like. So here's the shoe, really nice shoe. Okay, shine some light on that sucker. It's a really nice shoe. So it's got the mirror swoosh. It's got her a sign of hope here. It's got the wheelchair in the front with her playing on the wheelchair. It's got the pink bottoms. It says only the fearless right here on the inside. You probably can't see that. An amazing shoe. I never even took out the factory knot. I've never even pulled those laces off. With the chrome rainbow tips, really nice shoe straight up right here. Boom. Can't wait. Authenticity guarantee in the box. Everything set. Really happy about this one. So the mindset is
one. And another pair of shoes coming. Not talking no more shoes. I'm done with shoes.
What, okay, so the question is why? Why would one spend money on shoes you're never going to wear? Okay, that's a good question.
He does wear them.
No, okay. Do you know? You guys all know who Cam Williams is, right? He's a wonderful play-by-play YouTube gentleman personality that's really fun to interact with. A great young man. I mean that. Have no affiliation whatsoever. But do you know how we became associated with knowing Cam? eBay videos. Carla and I hustled sneakers for like 3 years to raise our kids. We went to every garage sale. We went to every TJ Maxx, every Ross dollar store. We went to every auction, every flea market, and we hustled and bought real sneakers. We knew how to make sure they were real, and we went with it. And we worked our ass off. But how did we find Cam? Is that we were always trying to proliferate ways that you could make a living off eBay. And now a lot of the eBay rules have changed. They take more money. It makes it much more difficult. You have to go through authenticity.
It depends what shoe you have.
But that's how we met Cam, because he did the same thing. He did it in Australia and we did it here. Anyway, small world, right? Small world. But that's some of our sneaker collection, and I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you're like, shut up, dude. But we enjoy it, and it helped us raise our kids, to tell you the truth, a lot. Like, it was our only salvation for a while. Okay, next subject, and we're getting to the end. Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz is through and took out Kubler, Jason Kubler, the Australian, and is awaiting Rafael Nadal. Good job for Fritz. What type of chance does he have against Nadal?
He has a decent chance. I mean, he played well against Djokovic. Why wouldn't he play against well against Nadal? He has a good chance. And obviously, here he has a better chance than he does at clay. You know, I think this is his best chance right here.
Carla, can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
How many sets does it take Nadal to beat Fritz?
4.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does Nadal beat Fritz in straight sets, or does Fritz get a set? I think it's straight sets, and if not, I think it's a gift from Rafa.
If yesterday or the day before he went to 4, he could go to 4 today, and then tomorrow, the next day, yeah.
Fritz is the last American man left in the tournament. When was the last time an American man made it to the semifinals or finals of a major? I think it was Andy Roddick, right? 01 U.S. Open, something like that. Yeah. Wimbledon, maybe.
Yeah.
By the way, today, while we were watching 206, which is DirecTV's ESPN, 209, which is DirecTV's ESPN2, we had ESPN2 going back and forth between the matches, and I think it was Badosa and Halep at this point, to the Nathan's hot dog eating competition.
Nathan hot dogs are good. I'm from New York. I used to go to Coney Island a lot. I used to skip school and go to Coney Island a lot. So yeah.
Any interest in watching people shove hot dogs down their mouth?
No interest, but Nathan hot dogs are so good.
Do any of you have any interest in watching people shove, a million hot dogs down their throat? I'm surprised their gastroenterologist, their GI doctor, doesn't have to push them in.
I'm guessing he doesn't eat. I'm guessing a lot of these people don't eat for days.
Just think of the mass size of all that food.
That's a lot, yeah.
Processed
did win again, yes.
Processed meat on top of white bread? Are you serious? I don't even know
I
how they
love
do it.
I love Nathan's hot dog. You know, my dad. That's the only thing he'll buy if we grill is a Nathan's hot dog.
Yeah.
There's two type of hot dogs in New York though. Michael Walker, you would know. What's the name of the other hot dog that they sell on most of the hot dog stands that I love getting? You know, I'll usually get it with sauerkraut. I like some onion, ketchup, mustard. What's the name of those hot dog stands? They're all over New York. Wow, this person.
That's okay. No, that it's all good. It makes it look when you see stuff like that. When you see stuff like that pops in the comments, you know that means people are watching you because that's what trolls do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to waste their time with someone that's not being watched. They just, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, Gene, as always. Paul Lemon says, I never thought Nadal would win a second Australian Open, but he definitely came through on that. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking, right?
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I mean, he had many chances to win Australian, but it was always Novak stopping him.
Yeah.
You know, so who knows?
Okay. I have zero interest in watching a hot dog eating competition. Zero whatsoever.
I didn't know there was a lemonade competition. Wings. I was like, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do they?
Lemonade.
What do they do with lemonade? Drink
the most you can drink.
But don't you drown? Like, how do people drown? They swallow too
This
much.
guy was huge that won. He was like a big guy.
So there's a torture called waterboarding, right? Does that mean he cannot be waterboarded because he would just inhale it all?
No, but you drink. I don't know. I don't know.
And where does karma and God come into this? Like you're
know.
ruining.
Jose P, I agree with you. I would rather watch a hot dog eating competition than the tennis on today. I agree.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
it was not good
enough.
tennis today.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough.
That was the worst tennis. Damn, on my day off, the worst tennis.
We'll take that one.
Yeah.
We'll take that one. By the way, who is it in Mexico City we are sending those strings to?
Jesus Cruz?
We have, okay.
Yeah,
so,
he knows about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have it. We took those out. So I have 1, 2. So I'm going to send you some sets of strings. These are just, these usually come in a plastic, nice case. But Ivor Savage that owns YTech Strings always sends us stuff for majors and for tournaments. And we have a tournament upcoming. So I'll send these two to you. These YTech Hexagon strings are some of my favorite strings to play with. We always juggle back and forth between either this or Quadro Twist or Diadem Flash or Solstice or Pro X, but these are really nice strings. So at some point before we finish the show, I'm going to ask a question and I'll send out 2 more sets of strings. So these are coming to you, bro, in Mexico City. And I have 2 more to give out for a question here in a moment. And then the rest of them are going out to our first, second, and consolation winners for the tournament. Mm-hmm. That's why I sent them. So thanks.
Right, Van Lee, I agree with you. Serena doesn't want to work hard anymore. She doesn't really need to.
Why would she?
I mean, you know, I was telling him I'm like, I said, I'm gonna go work out downstairs. He looked at me. He was like, really? He was like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do I really want to do that? Maybe.
Okay, moving forward, Cornet versus Tomljanovic. What are your thoughts on the winner there, and what are your thoughts on their opponent moving forward? So you know that we have Tomljanovic beating Rybakina. Whoever wins that's going to meet the winner of Halep and Anisimova. That defaults back to my earlier question. Does whoever win between Halep and Anisimova roll into the final?
No, I picked Anisimova, but I don't think it's a guarantee. You never know in women's tennis.
Okay, Anisimova was too much for Harmony Tan. She got kind of dealt with. Now, by the way, question: is Harmony Tan a mother? Because I have a lot of respect for young ladies that are able to come back from motherhood, playing again. Tatiana Maria is one. Ostapenko didn't think so because you saw that fat girl. But
she should have gone to the hot dog competition.
But yeah, I do think that Harmony Tan could be a mother because there was a beautiful little girl that was every time she would win a point. There was this beautiful little girl, and she was so cute, and she would wave, and I was thinking, and I thought that could be her daughter, and I wrote this down right at the end because we're getting towards the end, and I didn't have time to look up if she had a daughter, but if so, Harmony Tan is a beautiful little girl, and good luck to her in motherhood if that's the case. It's a tough grind, believe me. We talked about this. I'm getting down to the end, Carla. I'm getting down to the end. We talked about Nadal and Van der Slump. By the way.
Yes, she has a daughter. Yeah. No, there is no daughter in Harmony Tan's family.
Okay, maybe it's like a niece or something.
Could be, yeah.
But it looks so similar. Okay, Carla brought up something, and no need to dissect, but you know, Carla said Jannik Sinner reminded her of somebody. Carla said Jannik Sinner reminded her of a young Tomas Berdych.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you see this?
I do.
Will he be like Berdych, make some major finals but never win it?
No, I don't think so.
Thomas Berdych
because there's not going to be a Nadal, Djokovic, no Federer in that era.
Thomas Berdych made the Wimbledon final against Nadal, and Nadal beat him, right?
Yes, but what I'm saying is they're not going to deal with Alcaraz, Sinner, and the rest of the 19-year-olds that come are not going to deal with a Nadal, Federer, or Djokovic.
Okay, let me ask you.
Vanley says Corda's like Berdych. Disagree with you.
Similar, I banned that. No, by the way, Sebastian Korda doesn't play much differently than Jannik Sinner, so I get the metaphor.
No, but Berdych was.
We're not talking about looks. Now, Sinner looks like him. Because Berdych used to wear the backwards hat.
Berdych was taller.
Yeah, but he used to wear the backwards hat, though. Berdych used to wear a backwards hat sometimes.
Yeah, but if you look at their body structure, I feel like Korda is kind of built like his dad. Well, his dad was a bit skinnier, but I don't see him looking like Berdych. Who did Berdych beat to make Wimbledon final? I have no idea.
Federer, maybe?
I don't know who he beat.
Tsonga? Was that the year Tsonga beat
Maybe
Federer?
Tsonga. Someone could find out. Where's Gene Schwartz when you need him?
Tsonga?
Paul Lemon says Berdych, one of the best players never to have won a Grand Slam.
Yes.
I agree.
David Ferrer.
He kind of looked like Berdych, in my opinion, was better than Tsonga, was better than Monfils, better than Ferrer, better than a lot of players. THK says Sinner's mental game looks promising. Yep. How tall is Berdych?
Like 6'4".
Korda taller than Berdych for sure.
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5".
I don't know. Vanley says Sinner needs more meat on his bones. But then again, he's 19 years old. He'll build. I mean, look at Tsitsipas when he first came out on the tour. He was very skinny. I mean, just very, very, very skinny. And he started building more muscles and stuff.
He's still skinny.
He's not that skinny. You're skinny.
Oh, now you're talking about skinny.
I'm just saying, you can't say somebody's skinny when you're skinny. But you guys have muscles. Being skinny is like, I feel like Korda was one of those players that was super skinny with no meat.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, have you ever heard of a goji berry? A goji berry. I've never had a goji berry. My dad got these, and I just tried one. It tastes like a raisin, but supposedly it's a superfood. Organic goji berries. Go try some. Okay. Thank you, goji berry. So does everyone agree that Jannik Sinner looks like a young Thomas Berdych?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thomas Berdych, as who was that you said was the best person to have never won a major? Paul Lemon. Agree with you totally. Number 2 would be David Ferrer, the short Spanish player. I hate to say it, but if David Ferrer would have been maybe 3 inches taller, he would have won a major, or at least more massive.
So Berdych is 6'5".
Big beast.
Big guy.
Yeah, and Berdych played kind of like the way Nakashima played today. Just a bruiser, just a big dude.
And Korda's 6'5", so they're the same height.
Yeah, so good knowledge drop. Good knowledge drop there. Anyway, these messages are so ridiculous. Oh, but thank you, Gene. I need to pay him extra today. But that's okay. That means we're doing something right. Okay, I'm going to tell you something really kind of interesting today. The U.S. Open as an organization has a Instagram page or has a social.
Twitter. It was Twitter.
Twitter. Okay.
It was Twitter where they got it.
So yesterday during the Stefanos Tsitsipas, or the day before, between the Tsitsipas and Kyrgios match. And I'm an NFL fan. I love football. I'm a big-time San Francisco 49ers fan. Played some quarterback in my day at the junior football level. Not quite in high school. I was into tennis 100% then. But no stranger of throwing the football. Anyway, after the Tsitsipas match, I guess on some Twitter account, someone was and I don't have Twitter. Carla does. So I don't even know how it works. I do not have Twitter. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. We have YouTube, but I don't have Twitter. She does. I don't though. Anyway, so someone on Twitter indicated that tennis, quote unquote, isn't a real sport. Okay, tennis isn't a real sport. Whatever. So someone had put something on Twitter like, "Look at this match between these guys," and then someone caught that and was like, "Tennis isn't a real sport." Anyway, so lo and behold, an intern. Now, if you don't know what an intern is,
I've heard this
an intern is
not a sport.
someone that may be trained to do something, but hasn't put in their dues yet, kind of like a doctor. They finish medical school, and then they go work graveyard shift at the hospital. I know my dad had to do it, and every other doctor out there, and we teach many of them. But an intern is one that has to go in and just do the shit, like slop through the jungle, metaphorically speaking, to earn their keep, right? It's like being hazed at the Air Force, where our boys are in boot camp or whatever, not boot camp, but Hell Week or whatever. Same world. Internship is a grind. So an intern saw this comment, where it indicated that tennis wasn't a quote unquote real sport, and replied to that comment and didn't think about that it would say from the US Open on their comment. So the comment came from someone that the intern had researched a little bit, like search profile, let me look at some of their posts, and saw that they were a Seattle Seahawks fan. So they saw helmets and go Seahawks, and they went back and replied to tennis isn't a real sport. And you know what they said? Well, at least quote unquote it showed the US Open from their page, from their hashtag, and it said that well, at least I'm not having to watch a sport where Drew Lock is your starting quarterback, who is not even on the list of top 40 quarterbacks in the NFL. And there's only 32 NFL teams. So that means that there's 7 people sitting the bench that are better than your quarterback. Holy shit. I can't believe that happened. And if you don't follow football and don't, oh my goodness, laughing my ass off, rolling on the floor laughing, LOL, 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 oh my goodness. But I can assure you one thing, that everyone knows that the intern that did that is damn sure not a Seattle Seahawks fan. And surely he's a New York Giants fan, or maybe a New York Jets fan. And given that the Seahawks are in the NFC, I'm guessing he is a Giants fan. I'm guessing. And by the way, Carla, since you're from New York, when the hell are your Jets? When the hell are your Giants? Do a damn thing, because they suck. And by the way, now that we're talking about it, what about the Knicks? What about the Knicks? But the Yankees are doing pretty good. Let's go, Yankees. Let's go. And the Mets were doing good. The Mets were doing good early, but they kind of plateaued off a bit.
Moto, like I said, Novak shouldn't be complaining about that. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure that, he should have complained like when they were bombing Serbia. I'm just saying, there's no reason to complain. Whatever, it's their rules. Who cares? Damn.
I'm telling you.
What do I think about Durant? Kevin Durant, first of all, I don't like him. I think he goes where he can win championships. Don't like him. Never liked him. He reminds me of Serena, by the way.
Kevin Durant is arguably one of the best basketball players that have ever lived. Carla's indicating she can't stand him because of maybe he just dips out when shit doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about Kevin Durant for a moment.
He's super soft.
Wasn't Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook and James Harden on the same team in Oklahoma City? Couldn't win. Couldn't do shit, right? They couldn't figure it out. Too many people wanted the ball, and they forgot their assignments as a team. Durant goes to Golden State. Boom, boom, boom. He wins a couple championships. And then Kevin Durant dips out to the Nets. And the Nets, Kyrie Irving had just won a championship in Cleveland with LeBron, and he's won another one. So they go team up in Brooklyn with James Harden, again. What happened? Didn't happen. Not only that, but Kevin Durant dealt with a completely torn Achilles tendon, as I did with my patellar tendon, which is a devastating injury. The Achilles tendon tear is equally as bad as the patellar tendon, even though I've heard that the patellar tendon, the knee sever is more difficult to overcome than the Achilles tendon. By the way, my sister, when she was, I think, 11 years old, 12 years old, she fully ruptured her Achilles tendon playing tennis. Oddly enough, I ruptured my patellar tendon doing the same thing. Seriously.
You have the energy. He erased this message, but that's what I said. Justin has the energy of a tiger and hair like somebody. Sissipas? No, Justin has the energy of Tiger King and the hair like Stefanos. Legend.
Let's go.
You should
Let's go.
In an hour, Justin will be almost dead. We're going to watch a movie. He's like, I'm like, all right.
Depends what movie we're watching.
We're trying to watch this 100th season, and we haven't been able to get done through one episode in 2 days.
Yeah. Okay. So Carla and I have Carla and I we have 5 kids. You all know this. But Carla and I have not been to a movie at a movie theater since we were like 12. So here's what we're gonna do. Our not our middle daughter, but our youngest daughter will be 10 years old on July 18th. Okay. So our oldest son, Jonathan, who is 20 years old, comes home from the Air Force Academy at that point in time. So we're going to take our daughter and the rest of the children.
We're going on Monday to celebrate her birthday. Not this Monday, not next Monday. It's next Monday?
Yeah, not this one, but the next one. Yeah, and then we have a tournament. We have a tournament to run first. So we got the by the way, so this week starting tomorrow, we have an intermediate camp with like 17 kids, I think. So tomorrow until Friday, we are running a 2.5-hour camp every morning, then lunch, and then our afternoon lessons. So This upcoming week, we may miss a day or two of shows, but don't think something happened.
Yeah,
we're just on the court.
Yeah.
I'm
like preparing myself mentally for.
Yeah, on Wednesday, so not tomorrow, but the next day, we'll do a show tomorrow. It'll be later at night, probably later than this one is finishing. But we will miss Wednesday because we teach a group clinic of 18 people until it doesn't end until 7:30 p.m. We leave an hour away. We won't get home till 9 after we put all the balls and take care of the course. We won't get home till 9, 10 o'clock at night. And then we have to get up the next morning at 4:35. So this upcoming Wednesday, there won't be a show.
Family says, you guys have a big family. Would you push a kid in tennis? It's costly and nearly unrealistic. The first two boys, they learned tennis because baseball didn't happen for them. Jonathan learned it as a freshman, which means he was 14 years old. We taught him because it's a good game to learn. Wasn't pushed on him in the beginning, but not to become a pro or anything. Their intellectual, whatever. Their grades got him into college.
Our next oldest son's a 9 UTR.
Christopher too could have played tennis, but he did not love it. So, he got in because of
But wait, they both took full scholarships, full rides to the United States Air Force Academy. So let me rephrase this because I'm a proud dad.
He's new to the channel.
Yeah, both of our oldest sons are really good tennis players. Both of them excelled well. Multiple tournament wins as juniors. Our second oldest son, Christopher, who is now at the Air Force Academy, going through his first kind of enlightening month or two. In other words, Hell Week and all that stuff. But they both received in essence of a $1.5 million education.
And Chris used to beat me without training.
Yeah.
So for me, it was sad. But for me, it was sad that my second son didn't want to take it serious. But I'm okay with it because that's not what his passion is.
Beast mode, yeah.
Now with my 13-year-old, the only reason I'm pushing it is because
she's not 13 yet.
She's 13.
Oh, she just turned 13.
Because I want her to get a scholarship at college. After that, I don't care what she does with tennis.
Yeah.
Do we push the tennis? I mean, not really. I could have been like my dad, and you could have been like your dad. But we make sure that they play every day. Yes. It is very unrealistic. You have to be very rich to be a pro. Very lucky. Very lucky. The right person has to be, there to see you. He's 44, about to be 45. I'm 42, about to be 43.
Yeah, and we do push our kids for sure.
Push them to have good grades.
Middle child of 5 kids, Liliana. She is our 12-year-old daughter. She's practicing with Carla today, so we haven't done a video with Lily in a while, although little Liliana. She's in 7th grade, and she will be playing on the high school varsity tennis team this year, so let's check in.
And look, I'm not going to waste your time with that, but in other words, we do videos. We do videos. She's just warming up here, but yes, all of our kids play. Lily has a lot of talent. Lily's problem is she gets down on herself a lot. So I can go out and work out Lily for hours on end. And for sometimes I feel like for 2 of those hours that she's only pouting and just, pissing away time. And I always look at Carla and said, I had the boys, you got the girls.
Yeah, Moto, he's entitled to his opinion, Gene. You don't have to time him out. I get, he's hurt. He's saying Gotovic, and it's not true right now. It's Navalovic, or whatever you want to call it. Nadal Gotovic, whatever you want to call it. Nadal's the GOAT right now. So I get it for a lot of Novak fans. If I say something bad, it hurts them. It hurts them because your boy was supposed to be in this position. So definitely don't block him. He's entitled to his opinion.
It's okay.
But I'm going to tell you something. No one should bitch about what time they play. There's more things to bitch about in life. If you have to play a match the next day, that's why you pay millions of dollars, bro. That's why you pay millions of dollars while there's people starving. Those are the people that should complain. The kids that have cancer, the mothers that lost a son at war, the little girl that got raped, or the little boy that got killed because of a pedophile. Those are the people that should complain.
Or the parents.
Not because you're playing a night match. Let's be real here. Stop being babies. Grow up. Get balls. I don't want to hear anybody, Nadal. Nobody complain. Don't complain about because you got to come back, and play a match the next day.
Agree totally.
If you play the Olympics and you were that stupid to play the Olympics and then go play the U.S. Open, you shouldn't have a problem playing at night because that was a stupid decision that cost him. Anyways, I said my piece.
All right, to end this piece, $700, and that's U.S. dollars. I'm not talking pesos. I'm not talking rubars or whatever your denomination, for the U.S. Open. I must give Carlo. Look,
I'm gangster.
I must.
I went to one of the worst schools. Where's whose? Yes. I know how to
Brooklyn,
defend
make some
myself.
noise.
I know how to defend myself. Believe me.
Brooklyn,
My
make
dad
some
taught me
noise.
how to defend myself.
Yeah. I got 99 problems, but Carla ain't one. I don't know. You are one.
I'm a problem?
You are one.
Maybe so.
By the way, Fish Show in Brooklyn. Sitting there watching Fish jam, and all of a sudden the show stops. And all of a sudden Trey Anastasio says, and this is Madison Square Garden. This is MSG. And Trey Anastasio says, yes, we're going to welcome. No, this was in Brooklyn. This wasn't in MSG. And it's on, you can see it on YouTube too. We're going to bring out here a dear friend of the band, and he's going to come out and chill with us. And all of a sudden we have no idea who's coming out on stage. No idea. And here comes this halo, this shadow. And he comes out, and then who is it? Light shines on him. Boom! Jay-Z. And then all of a sudden, Fish goes into jamming rock and roll to all of a sudden 99 problems, but ain't one up. Yeah, and then he did another one. He did, I forget his what is the other Jay-Z song? Like what is it? Love 'em, baby. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
What is that song?
99 Problems.
No, not 99 Problems, but there was another one that was similarly as catchy. I think around the same album time.
I'm not a big Jay-Z fan. I don't care if he sings about New York. I'm not a Jay-Z fan.
Man, he's
so Trouble Mind. And look, yesterday I said on yesterday's show, I don't have a problem with Novak. I have a problem with the Novak fans that take it so hard, like, oh, like it's not personal. These guys are not making us rich. They don't give a fuck about us. Right. You guys praise him so much. Do you think this guy cares about, no, you want to? Come on, you guys take it too much. I even said yesterday's show, if I went to war, Novak would be right next to me fighting that war because he's a warrior. I said he would be the peacemaker because he talks a lot of shit. And he would be in the middle strategizing because he never chooses sides. You guys take it too serious. At the end of the day, they don't give a shit about any of us. This is for them and their family. Like really? You should just be grateful that we got all three.
You remember that though, right? Let's go.
We should be happy because guys, guess what? We're not gonna see this with the next generation. There'll be nothing to fight. You know what? The sad part is there'll be nothing to fight about. We can't say this guy's better because his head to head is this, and this guy's better because he has this many slants. Because they're all gonna be about the same. Because Rafa's English isn't good. It's a great excuse not to pick sides. That's a good one. Yeah.
Put all this together. Okay, anyway, that's it for this evening. Much love to all of you. Don't forget that once this tournament finishes, $700 cash for the US Open. Subscribe now. Don't be late. And
the sad part is I'm gonna miss the matches because today's matches suck. Tomorrow's matches are gonna be better. Adios. Look at him with the glasses. Adios, Alex.
Yeah.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches.